Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to John Hardin High School for tonight's 17th District Volleyball action. We're now going to have our starting lineups for North Hardin and John Hardin.
Number 5, Asia Charles. Number 6, Scarlett Stevens. Number 7, Allie Atkins. Number 8, Lauren Brad. Number 9, JoJo Atkins. Number 10, Jada Perry. Number 11, Loretta's Berrios. Number 15, Kaya Pointer. Number 20, Landry Howard. Number 21, Serenity Wimberly. Number 24, Alyssa Banner. Number 28, Megan Ford. Now, let's meet the Bulldogs of John Hardin. Number 2, Kayla Wells. Number 3, Chloe Lassie. Number 7, Kaylin Curry. Number 8, Abby Moore. Number 12, Kylie Wells. Number 13, Sophia Alvia. Number 15, Scarlett Leggett. Number 18, Delasia Smith. Number 20, Danielle Ingram. Number 21, Ayana Cox. Number 22, Michaela Wilson. Number 26, Aubrey Halliburton. Number 27, McKinley Liso.
So there we have the lineups for both teams. For North Hardin, they come in under Coach Jessica Wagner with a 6-13 record on this season, while the Bulldogs come in under Coach Walter Hampton and have a 7-9 record on the year. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, West Point Bank, and NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports. These two teams met back on August 26th, North Hardin pulling out a 3-2 victory over the Bulldogs in that one. For the random of our week, on Thursday night, we will have Central Hardin and North Hardin squaring off in volleyball action. And then Friday night, it'll be Henderson County coming to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. The teams now are set to come onto the court. Each set is first one to 25, leading by 2. If we go to a 5th set, it'll be the first one to 15, leading by 2. First team to 3 sets is the winner. So on the court for John Hardin will be Kaylin Curry, McKinley Leeser, Kylie Wells, Abby Moore, Delasia Smith, and Danielle Ingram, with the libero as Chloe Yassine. For North Hardin, be Scarlett Stevens, Allie Atkins, JoJo Atkins, Megan Ford, Alyssa Vanover, Jada Perry, and the libero for the Trojans is Landry Howard. And John Hardin will have first serve in our opening set. Kylie Wells to the line. Howard to JoJo. Cross for Allie. Taps that one over. Set that time by Curry to Moore. Taps it, but it goes wide. Point Trojans. And JoJo Atkins now to the line for the Trojans. Curry sets up for Leeser. She'll tap it, touched at the net, bounced there. Stevens hits it, and it's popped over by Allie Atkins. Curry outside for more. She goes back line. It's long. Point Trojans. Two serving 0. And an ace for Atkins. 3 serving 0. Smith to Curry for Leeser. Taps it towards the middle, gets the point for the Bulldogs. Danielle Ingram will check back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. McKinley Leeser heads to the service line. 1 serving 3. Vanover. JoJo for Allie. She goes back line. It's in. Point North. Serenity Wimberly checks in on the front line for the Trojans as Allie Atkins heads to the service line. 4 serving 1. Smith to Curry in the middle for Ingram. Big swing. She gets the kill. And Kaylin Curley heads to the service line for the Bulldogs. 2 serving 4. That's an ace. 3 serving 4. Allie Atkins serves it all the way back over. Ingram to Curry. She'll bump it over. A little miscommunication as 2 Trojans went up. Neither of them gets a good hit on it. Point for the Bulldogs. Tied 4 serving 4. Allie Atkins all the way over. Moore to Curry. Back outside for Moore. She'll send it back line. Allie Atkins gets that one. Perry unable to get it back in. Point Bulldogs. 5 serving 4. Howard, JoJo Atkins for Wimberly. Touched at the net. She gets the kill. Stevens now serving for the Trojans. Moore to Curry. Back for Moore. Back line. Unable to handle that one. And a point for the Bulldogs. And Abby Moore now heads to the service line. Landry Howard checks back in on the back line. Megan Ford in on the front line for North Hardin. 6 serving 5. Allie Atkins to JoJo. Perry blocked, but it's blocked back by Ingram and Wells. 7 serving 5. Howard to JoJo Atkins. She'll send it over. Yassine gets that one to Curry. To be hit over by Smith. Popped in the air by JoJo Atkins. Perry at the net. They were thinking that one should have been called out. Smith swings on that one. She gets the kill. Eight serving 5. Howard to JoJo Atkins in the middle for Wimberly. She tapped that one over and finds an open spot. Lily Barrios Castillo checking into the lineup. She'll head to the service line for the Trojans. 6 serving 8. Ace. 7 serving 8. Chloe. Yassine to Curry. Ingram unable to get that one back over the net. Point Trojans. 8 serving 8. Yassine to Curry for Smith. Just taps it over and she gets the kill. McKinley leads her back in on the front line as Chloe Yassine heads to the service line. 9 serving 8. Howard to JoJo Atkins. Wimberly will bump this one over. Yassine to Curry for Smith. Just tapped that one over. Wimberly to Atkins. Back to Wimberly. She bangs it off the blockers. Point North. Serenity Wimberly now serving for the Trojans. 9 serving 9. Service error. Point Bulldogs. Vanover checking back in for the Trojans. Delasia Smith to the line for the Bulldogs. 10 serving 9. Castillo. Some miscommunication, not going to be able to get it back over. Point Bulldogs. 11 serving 9. Howard. JoJo Atkins for Ford. Blocked to the net, pops it back over. Curry. Wells pops it up. Now Leistra will send it back row. Castillo. JoJo Atkins outside for Allie Atkins. Back line. Yassine sends it back over. Back and forth. Curry now sets to the middle for Leistra. She'll tap that one. Allie Atkins to JoJo Atkins. In the middle, Ford will bump it over. Moore gets to that one. Smith will bump it back. Now Wells will send it back line. Castillo to JoJo Atkins for Allie Atkins. Off the tape. Smith gets that one to Curry. Now it'll be Moore. He'll send that one back line. Castillo gets that one. JoJo Atkins in the middle for Ford. Blocked back over. Point as Ford tip kills. Scarlett Stevens will check back in on the front line for the Trojans as Landry Howard heads to the service line. 10 serving 11. Yassine to Curry for Leeser. Howard gets that one and no one else gets to it. Point Bulldogs. Howard, JoJo Atkins across for Allie Atkins. She'll roll that one over. Smith gets to it. Curry sets it near the net for Moore, unable to get that one back over. That was a little too tight to the net. Jada Perry checks back in on the front line from North Hardin. As JoJo Atkins heads to the service line. 11 serving 12. Moore cross for Leeser. She'll bump it back line. Vanover to JoJo Atkins in the middle for Stevens. Just punches that one. Moore to Curry. Back outside. Moore. She'll send it back line. JoJo Atkins gets that one to Howard. Now to be Allie Atkins off the front line. Wells gets to that one. Curry bumps it back for Moore. Big swing. Dig by Vanover to JoJo Atkins outside. Allie Atkins back line. It's long. Point Bulldogs. And McKinley Leeser now to serve for the Bulldogs. 13 serving 11. Vanover. JoJo Atkins right near the net. Stevens not able to get that one back over. Point Bulldogs. 14 serving 11. North Hardin will take their first timeout in set number 1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff, available for all your recycling needs. West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. I'd also like to thank NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NHHS.com to subscribe today. Come back to action. McKinley Leeser at the line for the Bulldogs. 14 serving 11. Vanover to JoJo Atkins. She'll send it back row. Leeser gets that one to Curry. In the middle for Ingram. Back line. Vanover with another dig. JoJo Atkins at the net for Allie Atkins. She'll send it back line. Wells gets that one to Curry. Cross for Moore. Tapped over. Gotten to by JoJo Atkins. Now Howard gets it to Allie Atkins in the middle. Popped up. Smith sends it over the net. Vanover to JoJo in the middle for Stevens. Smith dives and gets another one. Curry will pop it up. Moore now not able to get a clean hit. Point to the Trojans. Chloe Yassine checks in on the back line for the Bulldogs as Serenity Wimberly checks in on the front line for the Trojans. Allie Atkins now at the line for North Hardin. 12 serving 14. Curry pops this one up. Big swing from Ingram. JoJo Atkins gets it. Perry sends it over. Moore to Curry. Outside Moore again. That one blocked at the net. Sorry, I didn't see if that was Stevens or Perry. Point for the Trojans. 13 serving 14. That one goes long. Point for the Bulldogs. As Kaylin Curry heads back to serve. 15 serving 13. Allie Atkins to JoJo Atkins for Stevens. She gets the kill. Stevens, after the kill, will head to the service line. 14 serving 15. Megan Ford checks in on the front line for North Hardin. Yassine. Sorry, to Smith, and mistimed on that jump was Ingram. Point for the Trojans. 15 serving 15. Moore to Curry for Smith, back line. Allie Atkins uses that one to JoJo Atkins. Wimberly will bump it over. Smith to Curry for Ingram. Goes off JoJo Atkins, popped in the air. Now Allie Atkins sends it over. And they've got an injured player down. So both teams will head to their respective benches. Get a reminder, Thursday night we're back on the air. We'll have volleyball action as these North Hardin Trojans will hit the road, travel to Central Hardin, take on the Bruins. For John Hardin, they're back in action on Thursday night as well, as they will host Washington County. Also on Thursday night, we will have on our NHHS station, it'll be John Hardin at North Hardin in boys soccer. Coach Jim Stone will bring you that action. And then again on Friday night, Henderson County comes to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. That one's scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. Get back to action. Scarlett Stevens will be at the line. Coach Hampton comes over to check on JoJo Atkins. So they're just going to replay the point. Brooklyn Trujillo now into the lineup for the Trojans. Make sure everything's correct as far as lineup, score. So we'll replay it. 15 serving 15. Smith to Curry, back to Smith. She'll send it to the middle. Wimberly to Trujillo. Now Wimberly over. And it wasn't a clean hit by the blockers from John Point North. 16 serving 15. Wells to Curry, back sets Moore, just able to punch that one over. Allie Atkins, Stevens not going to be able to get it back. It'll be a point for the Bulldogs. Landry Howard checks back in on the back line for North as Abby Moore heads to the service line. 16 serving 16. Allie Atkins to Howard, outside. Ford's going to bump this one back line. Yassine to Curry. The outside Smith. That one's touched at the net, and she'll get the kill. (17) serving 16. Allie Atkins to Trujillo in the middle. Touch over by Ford. Moore to Curry for Wells. She goes back line. It's in. 18 serving 16. Howard to Trujillo. Wimberly not able to clear the net. Point John Hardin. 19 serving 16. Allie Atkins to Howard. That's going to be an ace. And North Hardin will take their second timeout here in set number 1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. Also like to thank our student workers for tonight's broadcast. Savannah Yates, Isaiah Washington, Xavier Bernardo, Jackson Houston, all under the direction of Mr. Jeremy Miller. come back to action. It'll be Abby Moore at the line for the Bulldogs. 20 serving 16. Howard. Trujillo in the middle, Wimberly. She gets the kill. Lily Berrios Castillo checking into the lineup for the Trojans. 17 serving 20. Yassine to Curry, outside Wells, she'll go back line. Allie Atkins there, Trujillo will bump this one across. Now Wimberly sends it over. Moore to Curry, outside Wells again, back line. Allie Atkins gets to that one. Howard out the net, forward, it's blocked on the other side. Howard sends it over, Wells to Curry, back for Smith. That one blocked at the net, point North. (18 serving 20). Yassine not going to be returned. Ace. 19 serving 20, and with that, Coach Walter Hampton will take a timeout. John Hardin's first timeout here in set number 1. Reminder, John Hardin back in action Thursday night, right back here at the Dog Pound, as they will host Washington County for Central Hardin. Sorry, for North Hardin. They will travel to Central Hardin to play on Thursday night. We will have that game for you here on HCEC-TV. Also that night on our streaming service, NHHS, we will have John Hardin at North Hardin in boys soccer. Coach Jim Stone will bring you all of that action. And then again, Friday night it'll be football as Henderson County comes to take on Central Hardin. That one's scheduled to start at 8 o'clock. Moore right at the net. Curry sets to the middle. Smith not over. Point Trojans. And we're tied at 20 apiece. Castillo serving for the Trojans. Moore to Curry. Outside Wells. Backline, that's long. 21 serving 20. Moore to Curry for Ingram. That goes all the way across. Castillo gets that one. Bumped across by Trujillo. Now backline Wimberly, and she gets the kill. 22 serving 20. And Coach Hampton going to take his last time out here in set number 1. Again, this is the best 3 out of 5 sets. First one to 25, leading by 2. If we get to a 5th set, it'll be the first one to 15, leading by 2. Castillo serving, 22 serving 20. Yassine to Curry. Outside Wells, back line, she'll get the kill. Yassine served over. It's Howard to Trujillo. Now Wimberly to Curry, gets to that one. Yassine bumps it. Now it'll be Wells who'll send it over the net. That's wide. Point Trojans. And Serenity Wimberly to the line for North. 23 serving 21. into the net, service error. This Vanover back in for North Hardin. Stalasia Smith heads to the service line for the Bulldogs. 22 serving 23. Vanover to Trujillo. Now Allie Atkins across court. Moore gets that one to Yassine. And Wells will bump this one into the middle. Castillo gets there. Trujillo will just send it over the net. Moore to Curry. She was outside. Wells again. Touched at the net. Vanover gets that one. Trujillo sets it outside for Allie Atkins. Back line. She gets the kill. And it'll be set point for the Trojans. Scarlett Stevens back in on the front line as Landry Howard heads to the service line. Moore to Curry. She'll set that one over. Allie Atkins, Trujillo, back for Stevens. She pops it over just to the middle, and that's it. North Hardin will take set number 1. 25-22. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located at 311 Steel Drive in Elizabethtown. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. West Point Bank, with 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown baking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. Again, we'd also like to thank NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact nhhs.com to subscribe today. As we get ready for set number 2 on the court for the Trojans, will be Jada Perry, Scarlett Stevens, Allie Atkins, Megan Ford, Brooklyn Trujillo, Alyssa Vanover, and checking in as libero is Landry Howard. For John Hardin, Delasia Smith, McKinley Leeser, Abby Moore, Kaylin Curry, Danielle Ingram, and Kylie Wells, with Chloe Yassine checking in as the libero. And North Hardin will have first serve, and it'll be Brooklyn Trujillo. Smith to Curry at the net. Ingram back line. Sent back over by Vanover. Moore to Curry. Back for Wells. She goes back line. Oh, they're going to have a net violation on John Hardin, and it'll be point North Hardin. 1 serving 0. Yassine to Curry for Wells. Back line. Vanover gets that one to Perry. Right at the net. Stevens taps it over, and she'll get the point for the Trojans. 2 serving 0. That one sails long. Point for the Bulldogs. Kylie Wells to the line for the Bulldogs. 1 serving 2. Vanover to Trujillo in the middle. Stevens takes a swing. Yassine picks that one out to Curry. Now Moore. She'll roll this one back line. Vanover, Trujillo, Atkins off the front line. Curry sets for Ingram, and Curry gets the kill. 2 serving 2. Vanover. Trujillo. Atkins, she gets the kill off the blockers. Serenity Wimberly checks in for the Trojans. So Allie Atkins heads to the service line. 3 serving 2. That one sails long. Point Bulldogs. As McKinley Leeser will check back in on the front line. Chloe Yassine to the service line. 3 serving 3. Back-to-back service errors. Megan Ford will check in on the front line for North. Scarlett Stevens heads to the service line. 4 serving 3. Smith to Leeser. Now Moore will send it across. Atkins, Trujillo at the net for Wimberly. And Wimberly tools the block. 5 serving 3. Smith, that one right at the net. Gets the kill on the overpass. Point Bulldogs. Kaylin Curry now to the line. 4 serving 5. Ace, as that one catches the tape and falls over. 5 serving 5. Howard, Trujillo at the net. That one blocked by Leeser. Point Bulldogs. 6 serving 5. Service error. And Lily Barrios Castillo will check in for the Trojans. She'll head to the service line. 6 serving 6. Curry for Moore. Big swing. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Trojans. 7 serving 6. to Curry. Smith will come forward, roll that one over. Atkins to Trujillo. At the net, Wembley blocked there by Leeser, sent back over. Yassine to Smith. Now Curry will send it over to the middle. Castillo to Trujillo. Forward blocked over. That one blocked again by Leeser. Leeser will pop this one up. Curry tight to the net. Point Bulldogs point Trojans as the Bulldogs were unable to return it. 8 serving 6. That one doesn't clear the tape. Point Bulldogs. And it'll be Abby Moore heading to the line. 7 serving 8. Howard to Trujillo. Outside Wimberly. Blocked at the net again by Leeser. Popped back over. Wells to Curry for Smith. That one blocked at the net by Ford. Kayla Wells checks into the lineup for the Bulldogs. Serenity Wimberly at the line for North Hardin. 9 serving 7. Moore to Kayla Wells for Smith. Just tapped over. Bounced into the net. Not able to return it. Point John Hardin. Alyssa Vanover back in for the Trojans as Danielle Ingram checks back in for the Bulldogs. Kenley Leeser now to the line. 8 serving 9. Vanover to Ford. Trujillo will bounce it over. Smith to Kayla Wells. Back for Smith. She sends it over and gets the kill. 9 serving 9. Castillo to Trujillo. Now bounced over by Atkins. Leeser. Kayla Curry for Ingram. Big swing and gets the kill. 10 serving 9. That one sails long. Point North Hardin. Scarlett Stevens back in for North Hardin. Chloe Yassine back in for John Hardin. Landry Howard at the line, 10 serving 10. Moore to Kayla Wells. Back for Kylie Wells. She swings. Howard will send it all the way back over. Ingram, big swing. Vanover gets to that one. Now to Howard. Now Vanover able to get it over the net. Smith to Kayla Wells. Now Kylie Wells sends it over. Castillo to Trujillo right at the net. Stevens gets just enough on it to find an open space. Point Trojans, 11 serving 10. Kaylin Curry back in for the Bulldogs. Yassine to Curry in the middle. Ingram, big swing. That's a kill for the Bulldogs. And DeLasia Smith heads to the line. 11 serving 11. Vanover to Trujillo. In the middle, Stevens swing. That's a kill for Trojans. Jada Perry will check back in on the front line for North. As Brooklyn Trujillo heads to the service line. 12 serving 11. Smith to Curry. Kylie Wells, she gets the kill. And Kylie Wells will head to the service line for the Bulldogs. 12 serving 12. Vanover to Trujillo. Atkins goes across court. It's in. Point Trojans. Serenity Wimberly back in for North as Allie Atkins heads to the service line. 13 serving 12. Curry bump sets outside Moore, cuts across. Wimberly gets that one. Stevens just tapped it over. Yassine gets there. Curry for Smith on the back line. Atkins gets to that one. Trujillo bump set for Wimberly. That one didn't clear the tape. Point Bulldogs. Kenley Leeser checks back in on the front line as Chloe Yassine heads to the service line. 13 serving 13. Atkins to Trujillo. Stevens just taps it over. Leeser sends it right back. Curry in the middle for Leeser, tapped over. Perry gets to it. Howard diving in, but that's going to go wide. Point John Hardin. 14 serving 13. Service error. Point North. Megan Ford checks back in on the front line. North Hardin. Scarlett Stevens heads to the service line. 14 serving 14. That one into the net. Point Bulldogs. That's Kaylin Curry will head to the service line. 15 serving 14. Ace for Curry. 16 serving 14. Howard to Trujillo. Outside for Ford. Touched at the net. Leeser sends it to Moore. Moore sends it over. Howard right at the net. Trujillo blocked by Leeser. This one again at the net. Smith to Curry. Outside Moore. Swings back line. Howard gets that one. To Atkins. Outside Wimberly. She sends it over. Wells gets to that one. Curry bumps it back. Now Wells will send it back line. Atkins to Trujillo. In the middle for Ford. That one sent back. Diving dig by Yassine. Wimberly sends it back. Yassine gets one arm dig that time. Now Moore rolls it over. Popped up. Ford will get it over. Trying to ask for a lift. Curry outside Smith. Back line. Atkins gets to that one. Trujillo send it over. Wells is there. Curry in the middle. Leeser will send that one over. Trujillo to Howard. Now Wimberly will roll it to the middle. Moore to Curry. Back line. Wells is there. She'll send it over. Trujillo to Howard. For Perry, she bumps it over, and that's it, point North. Barrios Castillo checking into the lineup for the Trojans. She'll head to the service line. 15 serving 16. Set number 2, just like set number 1, back and forth between the two teams. Wells to Curry for Moore. Off the front line. Castillo dives to that one. Howard. Now to be Ford who sends it over. Smith to Curry. Outside Moore again. Back line. That's in. Point Bulldogs. So the ball went down the tunnel. And Abby Moore at the line. 17 serving 15. Atkins to Howard. Trujillo will bump this one over. Leeser to Curry. Back sets for Smith. That doesn't clear the tape. Serenity Wimberly now to the line for the Trojans. 16 serving 17. Moore to Curry. For Wells, big swing. Howard digs that one out. Trujillo, that one's going to get over the net. Smith there, popped in the air. Now Moore, Ford sends it over, sorry. That goes wide. Point Bulldogs. Alyssa Vanover back in for the Trojans. Danielle Ingram back in for the Bulldogs. Kinley Leeser to the line for the Bulldogs. 18 serving 16. Vanover, ace. 19 serving 16. Timeout. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Sorry about that as we come back to the court. Kinley Leeser will be at the service line for John Hardin, 19 serving 16. Howard to Trujillo. For Ford, she'll roll it to the middle. Smith to Moore, back for Smith. Big swing, that's another kill. 20 serving 16. Coming in for North Hardin will be Lauren Bragg. Castillo all the way back over. Tip kill for Ingram. 21 serving 16. Castillo to Trujillo. Ford now blocked at the net. Ford gets back to it, but it's going to be another point for the Bulldogs. 22 serving 16. Atkins, Trujillo now will bump it over. Moore to Curry. Outside Wells, back line. Bragg to Trujillo. She'll just dump that one over. Moore to Curry. In the middle, Ingram gets over. Ford to Atkins. Now Trujillo will send it over, and she gets the kill. Scarlett Stevens back in on the front line for North Hardin as Landry Howard heads to the service line. 17 serving 22. Smith to Curry. Back for Smith. Back line. Bragg sends it all the way back over. Curry to Moore. For Smith right at the net. That doesn't clear the tape. 4 hits. Point North. 18 serving 22. Yassine to Curry for Smith. And that'll be a kill for DeLasia Smith. Point John Hardin. And DeLasia Smith hits to the service line. 23 serving 18. Howard to Trujillo. At the net, Stevens. Blocked by John Hardin. And it'll be set point for the Bulldogs. 24 serving 18. Howard. Trujillo. Now Atkins. That doesn't clear it. And John Hardin takes set number 2. 25-18. So after 2 sets, we are tied at 1 set apiece. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results. With locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, and South Louisville. Go online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff available for all your recycling needs. Located at 311 Steel Drive in Elizabethtown. Call 270-982-7206 to talk to someone about scrapping metal and recycling. West Point Bank, with 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. Online at westpointbank.com. I'd also like to thank NHHS, the National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NHHS.com to subscribe today. Reminder, these Bulldogs back in action Thursday night as they will host Washington County here. And for the Trojans, they will hit the road again on Thursday night as they will be at Central Hardin. We will be at Central Hardin with them to bring you this on HCEC-TV. On our NFHS channel on Thursday night, we will have boys soccer action as John Hardin and North Hardin will take on Coach Jim Stone. We'll bring you all of that action. And then Friday night at 8 o'clock, Henderson County comes to take on the Central Hardin Bruins in football action. So we had set 4. Set number 3. On the court for the Trojans, Scarlett Stevens, Allie Atkins, Brooklyn Trujillo, Jada Perry, Megan Ford, and Alyssa Vanover, with Landry Howard set to check in as the libero. For the Bulldogs, Kylie Wells, DeLasia Smith, Abby Moore, McKinley Leeser, Kaylin Curry, Danielle Ingram, with Chloe Yassine set to check in as the libero. John Hardin will have first serve, and it'll be Kylie Wells at the line. Howard to Stevens. Atkins will send it back row. Wells, this one will be right at the net, tapped over by Curry. She gets the kill. 1 serving 0. And Howard, that'll be an ace for Wells. 2 serving 0. That one trickles over after hitting the tape. Another ace for Wells. 3 serving 0. Howard to Trujillo. Cross. Stevens not able to get anything on that one. 4 serving 0. Howard to Trujillo, just tapped over. That one's wide. 5 serving 0, and with that, Coach Wagner not waiting any longer. She will take the first time out for the Trojans here in set number 3. Again, we'd like to thank all of our student workers for making tonight's broadcast possible. There's Savannah Yates, Isaiah Washington, Xavier Varnado, Jackson Houston, and Jeremy Miller. Come back to action. It'll be Kylie Wells at the line for the Bulldogs. 5 serving 0. Howard to Trujillo for Atkins. She'll send it back line. Wells is there. Curry for Moore. Just tapped down the line. It's wide. Point Trojans. It'll be Brooklyn Trujillo now at the line for the Trojans. 1 serving 5. Wells to Moore. She'll tap that one over. Trujillo to Howard for Perry. She'll send it back line. Wells is there to Yassine outside for Moore. That doesn't clear the tape. 2 serving 5. Smith to Curry. Moore tapped it over. Trujillo to Howard outside. Now Atkins will send it to the middle. Yassine to Curry for Moore. Backline, Howard gets that one. Trujillo just will send it over. Smith gets to it. Curry will send it back. Vanover to Trujillo. Outside, Atkins off the front line. Smith to Ingram. Moore just going to tap it over. Trujillo to Howard. Atkins bumps it over. Smith to Curry. Ingram catches the top of the tape. Trujillo to Vanover. Now to be Atkins. Backline. Wells is there. Curry. Cross for Moore. Big swing. Kill for Abby Moore. Point Bulldogs. McKinley leads her back in on the front line. Aubrey Halliburton checking in and heading to the service line for the Bulldogs. 6 serving 2. Howard to Trujillo. Stevens in the middle, just tapped it over. Curry gets to it. To Halliburton, now sent back over by Smith. Vanover right at the net. Blocked. Popped up. Stevens not able to get it over. I think she hit it twice. It should have been 2 hits. It was 2 hits by Stevens. So the point to the Bulldogs. 7 serving 2. into the net. Point Trojans. Serenity Wimberley will check back in for North Hardin. Danielle Ingram, actually we check in, check out as Chloe Yassine checks back in on the back line for John Hardin. Allie Atkins now serving for the Trojans. 3 serving 7. Wells to Curry. Lisa in the middle, she gets to kill. 8 serving 3. And that'll be an ace. It's Kaylin Curry at the line for the Bulldogs. 9 serving 3. Atkins to Wimberley. She'll bump it over. Curry to Yassine. For Smith, she sends it across. Trujillo gets that one to Howard. Now for Perry. That didn't clear the tape. 10 serving 3. That one sails long. Megan Ford back in on the front line for the Trojans. Scarlett Stevens heads to the service line. 4 serving 10. That would then clear the tape. Landry Howard will check in on the back line for the Trojans as Abby Moore heads to the service line for the Bulldogs. 11 serving 4. Atkins to Trujillo for Wimberley, blocked at the net. Trujillo sends it back over. Yassine gets that one to Curry. Outside for Wells, back line. Atkins is there. Wimberley will send it back line. Yassine sends it right back over, and that ball will be dead as it had gone over the net. You can play it out of the rafters if it does not go over the net. You can play it on your side. That one did go over the net, so point for North Hardin. As Loli Castillo checks back in for North Hardin. And Ayana Cox checks in for John Hardin. Yassine to Curry. Outside for Wells. Atkins to Trujillo. And that one's going to go out. Point Bulldogs. And McKinley Leeser now to the service line for the Bulldogs. Danielle Ingram checks back in on the front line. 12 serving 5. Ace. Castillo to Trujillo. Now Howard will send it over. Smith to Curry. Back for Smith. Blocked to the net by Ford. Popped back over by Ingram. Castillo right at the net. Popped over. Atkins to the outside. Unable to hold it over. Point for the Bulldogs. And North Hardin will take their last time out here in set number 2. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling. Family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. We come back to action. McKinley Leeser at the line for the Bulldogs, 14 serving 5. Howard, Castillo. Now Atkins will send it over. Leeser to Curry. Side for Wells. Atkins to Trujillo for Wimberly. Touched at the net. Curry gets to it. Ingram pops it up. Now Smith not able to get that one over. Point North. Chloe Yassin back in for the Bulldogs as Serenity Wimberly heads to the service line. 6 serving 14. Yassin to Curry for Wells. Back line, that's long. 7 serving 14. Yassin to Curry Smith. That one's long. 8 serving 14. Yassin, Curry in the middle for Ingram, and she gets the kill. Alyssa Vanover back in for North Hardin as Abby Moore will check back in for John Hardin. Elijah Smith now at the line for the Bulldogs, 15 serving 8. And an ace. 16 serving 8. Castillo to Trujillo for Atkins. Yassin from the back line to Wells. Now Smith will send it over. Howard right to the net. Trujillo pops it over. Atkins will send it back corner. Moore to Smith. Now to be Wells. Touched at the net by Ford. Castillo to Trujillo. Outside Atkins off the blockers. Trujillo now will send it back line. Yassin is there for the Bulldogs to Curry. Smith will come forward, roll that one over. Howard to Trujillo. Ford not able to get that one over. Point Bulldogs. 17 serving 8. Howard to Trujillo. Now Ford goes back line. Moore to Yassin. Now Smith will send it over. Howard, Trujillo. Outside Atkins, she gets the kill. And Landry Howard now at the line for North Hardin, 9 serving 17. Moore to Smith. Now Wells will send it back row. Bragg to Trujillo in the middle. Stevens off of Ingram. She'll pop it up. Moore outside. Now Wells will just bump it over. Castillo to Trujillo. Outside. Atkins. That's wide. Point John Hardin. And Kylie Wells now heads to the service line. 18 serving 9. Castillo to Trujillo, who taps it over. Curry and Smith will send it back row. Bragg gets to that one, and no one there for North Hardin. Another point for the Bulldogs. 19 serving 9. That one into the net. Point for the Trojans. Jada Perry will check back in for North Hardin. As Brooklyn Trujillo heads to the service line. 10 serving 19. And ace. 11 serving 19. Wells to Smith. Outside for Ingram. Goes across. Trujillo to Bragg. Now Stevens will send it back line. Wells is there to Curry for Smith. That didn't clear the tape. 12 serving 19. Smith to Curry for Ingram. She bumps it back line. Bragg is there. Trujillo to the outside. Perry, she'll just send it back line. Wells to Curry in the middle for Ingram. And Ingram with the kill. Aubrey Halliburton checking in for John Hardin. She'll head to the service line. 20 serving 12. Bragg to Trujillo, tipped over, and Leeser hits it, but it goes long. Point North. Smith to Curry, outside for Moore. Wimberly to Atkins. Wimberly sends it over. Moore gets that one to Curry. Back outside for Moore again. She'll roll it back line. Howard to Trujillo. Cross for Wimberly. Back line. Wells gets that one to Curry. In the middle, Lisa will roll it over. Howard to Trujillo. Back outside. Wimberly. Big swing. Dig by Smith to Curry. Outside again off the front line. Atkins to Trujillo. Now for Wimberly, and she gets the kill. It'll be Allie Atkins at the line for the Trojans. 14 serving 20. Smith to Curry. Moore will bump it over. Atkins to Trujillo. Stevens at the net. And I think Leeser stepped on one of the Trojans. She came down under the net. So both teams will return to their bench. Again, a reminder, John Hardin back in action on Thursday as they will host Washington County. And for the Trojans, they hit the road, so they will travel to Cecilia to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. We will have that one for you on HCEC-TV. Also that night on our NHHS channel, we will have John Hardin at North Hardin in boys soccer action. Coach Jim Stone will bring you all of that. Friday night, we will be out at Central Hardin as the Central Hardin Bruins will host Henderson County. Next week on our schedule, very light, we have a Tuesday matchup as it'll be boys soccer as Thomas Nelson comes to take on John Hardin. And then it'll be on Friday night. Actually, I apologize. Next Friday night, we will not have a game. Most teams are off as that'll be the start of fall break. So we have one match next week. Again, Thomas Nelson here at John Hardin in boys soccer action. Over the fall break will be the district tournament for soccer, boys and girls soccer. And we will try our best to bring you as much of that as we can. McKinley Leeser helped to the sideline. So the point went to North Hardin. I believe it was supposed to be 15 serving. Michaela Wilson checks in on the front line for John Hardin. Atkins serve goes long. Point Bulldogs. And Kaylin Curry heads to the service line. 21 serving 14. Atkins to Stevens. Cross Wimberly, rolls that one into the middle. Cox to Yassine, now to be Moritz, sends it over. Atkins to Trujillo, not going to be able to return that. Point Bulldogs. 22 serving 15. Atkins to Trujillo for Stevens. She sends that one over and gets the kill. That's wide. Service error, point to the Bulldogs. Landry Howard back in on the back line for North Hardin as Abby Moore heads to the service line for the Bulldogs. 23 serving 16. Atkins to Trujillo for Ford. Off the front line, she gets the kill. Lola Barrios Castillo checking in for North Hardin. 17 serving 23. Yassine to Curry. Outside Wells. That goes long. 18 serving 23. Yassine to Curry for Wells, just tapped over. Trujillo to Wimberly, that one dug out by Moore. Curry, now Smith, that doesn't clear the tape. 19 serving 23, and I believe Coach Hampton will take a timeout. John Hardin led as many by 9. That now being cut down to 4. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. Also like to thank NHHS, or National Federation of High School Sports, and its support in providing live streaming service. Contact NHHS.com to subscribe today. So we come back to action. Lily Castillo to serve for North Hardin, 19 serving 23. Yassine to Curry for Cox. I said Cox, that's well, that's 21. 22 is Wilson. Point North Hardin, 20 serving 23. Moore to Yassine. Cross, now Wells will bump it. Atkins, Trujillo, outside Wimberly, tapped over. Curry gets that one. Now Smith, back to Curry. She sends that one back row. Castillo to Trujillo in the middle. Ford sends it over. Curry to Moore for Smith. Back line, it's in. And it'll be set point for the Bulldogs. Danielle Ingram checks back in. Michaela Wilson heads to the service line for John Hardin. 24 serving 21. Serving 20. Atkins to Trujillo. Wimberly, and she'll get the kill. Chloe Yassine back in for the Bulldogs. Serenity Wimberly heads to the service line for the Trojans. 21 serving 24. Ace. 22 serving 24. Coach Hampton will take his last time out here in set number 3. Then we are tied at 1 set apiece. North Hardin took set number 1, 25-22. John Hardin came back in set number 2 and took it 25-18. Again, this is a best 3 out of 5 sets. We come back to play. It'll be Serenity Wimberly at the line for the Trojans. 22 serving 24. Moore to Yassine for Wells. She'll roll that one back line. Wimberly to Trujillo. Cross for Atkins. Just tips that one over. Curry to Moore. Back for Smith. And Smith gets the kill. And John Hardin takes set number 3. 25-22. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Cranenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. We'll be right back with set number 4. to come back for set number 4 for the Trojans. It will be Jada Perry, Scarlett Stevens, Allie Atkins, Alyssa Vanover, Brooklyn Trujillo, and Megan Ford. With the libero as Lauren Bragg. For John Hardin, Kylie Wells, Delasia Smith, Abby Moore, Ayana Cox, Danielle Ingram, and Kaylin Curry with Chloe Yassine as the libero. North Hardin will have first serve here in set number 4. Brooklyn Trujillo at the line. Yassine to Curry in the middle. Ingram, pop back, not be able to get it back over. Point Bulldogs. Kylie Wells now to the line for the Bulldogs, 1 serving 0. Vanover to Trujillo. Back for Perry, touched at the net. Moore gets that one. To Curry, outside for Moore, blocked at the net. Yassine sends it back over and gets the point for the Bulldogs. 2 serving 0. Vanover to Trujillo. In the middle, Stevens, and she gets the kill. Landry Howard checking back in to the service line as Serenity Wimberly checks in on the front line. 1 serving 2. Cox to Curry. Ingram, that doesn't clear the tape. 2 serving 2. Ace. 3 serving 2. Ace. 4 serving 2. Wells to Curry, outside Moore, across. Wimberly gets to that one, not able to return it. Are the Trojans. Point Bulldogs. And Chloe Yassine will head to the service line. Delasia Smith checks back in on the front line for the Bulldogs. 4 serving 3. Or sorry, 3 serving 4. Blocked to the net. Perry sends it over. Cox to Curry. For Moore, left hand right down the line, gets the kill. 4 serving 4. Ace for Yassine, 5 serving 4. Howard to Bragg. Perry will bump it back line. Yassine to Curry. Outside Moore. And Moore tools the block. 6 serving 4. That one sails long. Point Trojans. Megan Ford will check in on the front line for North. Scarlett Stevens heads to the service line. 5 serving 6. Wells to Yassine for more. Cross, it's wide. 6 serving 6. Wells to Curry, back for Wells, she'll send it back line. Howard to Trujillo, outside Wimberly, sends it back line. Yassine gets that one to Curry. Now Moore will send it across court. Howard gets that one to Trujillo, to Perry, and that one blocked at the net by Moore. Point Bulldogs. Kaylin Curry now to the line for the Bulldogs. 7 serving 6. Wimberly gets it back over. Curry to Wells. She'll bump it outside for Moore. Moore blocked at the net by Ford. We're tied again at 7 apiece. Lowly Castillo checking in for the Trojans. 7 serving 7. Yassine to Curry. Back sets for Moore. Howard on the back line. That one blocked right at the net by Smith. Point Bulldogs. And Abby Moore will head to the service line. Eight serving 7. Howard to Castillo. Now Wembley sends it over. Moore. Smith just taps it over. Trujillo to Bragg. Wembley taps that one over. Curry to Smith. Outside Wells. She'll send it down the line. It's in. Nine serving 7. And John Hardin leads 2-1. North Hardin took set number 1, 25-22. John Hardin came back, took set number 2, 25-18, and they just won set number 3, 25-22. Trujillo right at the net. Wimberly gets to it, pop back over. I think that one went off the official stand, so it's considered out. That'll be a point for North Hardin. As Allie Atkins will check back in for the Trojans. Serenity Wimberly heads to the service line. 8 serving 9. Yassine to Curry and unable to get to it. 9 serving 9. Curry to Smith. She gets it over. Trujillo gets that one to Bragg. Back outside. Atkins. Yassine gets that one to Curry. In the middle. Smith. That goes wide. Point Trojans. 10 serving 9. In order for this match to continue, North Hardin will need to win set number 4 to take it to a deciding set number 5. And into the net. Alyssa Vanover will check back in for the Trojans. As Danielle Ingram checks in for the Bulldogs. And Delasia Smith heads to the service line. 10 serving 10. Bragg. Trujillo for Atkins. That's long. 11 serving 10. Castillo to Trujillo. Atkins able to get it over. Moore to Curry. Outside Wells off the front line. Dug out by Vanover. Trujillo to Bragg, and she'll bump it back line. Smith to Curry for Ingram, a big swing. 12 serving 10. Trujillo to Atkins. That doesn't clear the tape. Point Bulldogs. With that, North Hardin will take their first timeout here in set number 3 or 4. All right, this is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools Live Channel 1 programming, sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates. More personal attention for more effective results. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple. As we come back to action, Galasia Smith at the line for the Bulldogs. 13 serving 10. Bragg to Trujillo for Atkins. She'll just tap it over. Ingram to Smith, and some miscommunication on the Bulldogs side gives the point to the Trojans. Scarlett Stevens will check back in on the front line as Lauren Bragg will head to the service line. 11 serving 13. Smith to Curry. Sent over by Wells. Castillo gets that one to Trujillo. It's going to go over but wide. Point Bulldogs. Castillo to Atkins. Now Trujillo will send it back line. Liggett to Curry. She dumps it over and gets the point. Scarlett Liggett to the line. 15 serving 11. Catches the tape. That's going to be a lift. Point John Hardin. 16 serving 11. Ace. 17 serving 11. That one goes wide, point North. Jada Perry checked back in for North Hardin as Brooklyn Trujillo heads to the service line. 12 serving 17. Smith to Curry. Smith now will bump it over. Vanover. Trujillo in the middle for Stevens. Just tapped over and gets the kill. (13 serving 17). Smith to Yassine. Curry will send it back line. Bragg is there. Trujillo for Stevens. She'll send it to the center. Smith gets that one. Curry for Ingram. And not able to return in. The point for the Bulldogs. And Kylie Wells heads to the service line. 18 serving 13. Bragg to Trujillo for Atkins. Yassine to Smith. Now Moore sends it over. Atkins to Trujillo. She'll send it. Curry in the middle for Ingram. Perry to Stevens, back line. Yasin gets that one to Curry. Outside for Moore. Atkins digs that one out. It comes back over. And I think Moore thought it was going to be in. It was going to be wide. She touches it. Point for the North. Serenity Wimberly and Landry Howard checking back in for North Hardin. Howard will go to the service line. 14 serving 18. Yasin, this one will be tight to the net. Ingram pops it up now. Wells will send it across for Moore. She'll just roll that one. Trujillo to Bragg for Wimberly. She'll bump this one back line. Smith is there to Curry. Outside, Moore. Big swing. Dig on the back line from Howard. Trujillo bump sets across for Wimberly. That one dug out by Wells all the way back to the net. Point North. 15 serving 18. Wells to Curry for Moore. Just tapped over. A little dink shot. Gets the point for the Bulldogs. And Danielle Ingram now to the line. 19 serving 15. John Hardin going to take a timeout. I don't know if they had the right rotation or knew who was in the right spot. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, and West Point Bank. Also like to thank all of our student workers for making tonight's broadcast possible. Savannah Yates, Isaiah Washington, Xavier Varnado, Jackson Houston, all under the direction of Mr. Jeremy Miller. And a reminder, we're back on the air Thursday night as these North Hardin Trojans will travel to Central Hardin to take on the Bruins. We'll have that one on our HCEC-TV YouTube channel. And on our NHHS, we will also have the John Hardin at North Hardin boys soccer match. Coach Jim Stone will bring you all of that action. As we come back to live action, Danielle Ingram at the line for the Bulldogs. 19 serving 15. Bragg to Howard for Wimberly. Touched at the net. Wimberly with another kill. Sophia Alvia checking into the lineup for the Bulldogs. Scarlett Stevens to serve for North. 16 serving 19. Wells to Curry. Outside Moore. She'll send it back line. Stevens to Howard. And some miscommunication on the Trojans. Point Bulldogs. Lauren Bragg checks back in on the back line for North. Scarlett Leggett checks in on the front line for the Bulldogs as Kaylin Curry heads to the service line. 20 serving 16. Bragg to Trujillo. Outside Ford. She'll send it back line. Wells to Curry for Moore. Moore gets the kill. 21 serving 16. Bragg. Trujillo for Perry. Back line, she gets the kill. Lily Castillo will check back in for the Trojans ahead to the service line. Chloe Yasin checks in on the back line for the Bulldogs. 17 serving 21. Yasin to Curry for Moore, and Moore tools the block. Abby Moore now to serve for the Bulldogs. 22 serving 17. Bragg. And Bragg will end up being the one who sends it back over. Moore to Curry. In the middle, Smith blocked by Ford. Castillo gets to it now. Bragg for Wimberley. Back line. Moore to Curry. Outside, Wells rolls it back line. Bragg gets that one to Trujillo. Outside for Wimberley. And I don't think the line judge saw it well. It'll be a point for
I'm Gina
the Trojans.
Ryan, director.
Allie Atkins back in on the front line. Serenity Wimberley to the service line. 18 serving 22. Yassine to Curry for Wells. Backline Bragg to Trujillo for Atkins. That one blocked at the net by Smith. Point Bulldogs. Alyssa Vandover back in for North Hardin as Delasia Smith will head to the service line. Danielle Ingram will check in on the front line for the Bulldogs. 23 serving 18. Vanover to Trujillo for Atkins. Dug out by Smith to Curry. Now Wells will just tap it over. Finds an open spot, and it'll be match point for the Bulldogs. 24 serving 18. Castillo to Trujillo for Atkins, and Atkins gets the kill. Scarlett Stevens checks back in on the front line as Lauren Bragg heads to the service line. 19 serving 24. Leggett. That's an ace for Bragg. 20 serving 24. Chloe Yassine checking back in on the back line for the Bulldogs. Smith to Curry for Wells, and that'll do it. As John Hardin will take set number 4, 25-20, and win the match 3-1. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. For more information, visit bbtel.com. Physical Therapy Associates, for more personal attention, for more effective results, online at physicaltherapyky.com. Waddell's Auto and Scrap Metal Recycling, a family-owned business with competitive prices, pickup service, and a friendly staff. Call 270-982-7206. And West Point Bank, let us help make life simpler. Hometown banking made simple, online at westpointbank.com. For North Hardin, they fall to 6-14 on this season. Again, they will be back in action Thursday night at Central Hardin. For John Hardin, they improved to 8-9 on the year, and on Thursday night they will be hosting. Again, Thursday night we will be at Central Hardin as the North Hardin Trojans travel to take on the Central Hardin Bruins. That one's scheduled to start at 7:30. For all of us here at HCEC-TV, I'm Bobby Thompson saying so long and good night.